This presentation will look to summarise the critical discussion of the accompanying report of the issues faced by small media enterprises, both positive and negative, when using social media as opposed to traditional formats of advertising and promotion, as well as the benefits of identifying future trends and the downfalls of not staying relevant. SMEs are defined as non-subsidiary independent firms which employ fewer than a given number of employees, typically between 200 and 250. In Australia, for example, an SME is a business of between 0 and 199 employees, and they accounted for 99.8% of businesses operating in the 2016-17 financial year. Social media platforms and internet technology are increasingly being used by SMEs primarily as a promotional tool. While the development of technology and technological platforms has helped to make things easier and more efficient for SMEs, it has also brought forward a new wave of issues not previously experienced. Social media is defined as websites and applications that are designed to allow people to share content quickly, efficiently, and in real time. It originated as a way for friends and family to interact with each other in the early to mid-2000s. But once the extensive reach of the social media platforms was established, it was quickly adopted by businesses as a new communication method to cast a wider net over potential customers. The use of social media has exploded in popularity since its inception, with Facebook having 2.27 billion users and Instagram 1 billion users as of January 2019. Social media's greatest strength is the ability to connect with a larger mass of people at any time of day in real time. Unlike traditional mediums such as newspapers and television, social media can be used by SMEs in a very purposeful way to portray an exact message to a very specific target audience for a desired and deliberate amount of time. Techniques to help maximize the spread of information through to targeted audiences have been developed. A hashtag, for example, is used to index keywords or topics where users can use keywords or phrases to link topics together, which can later be used to narrow a search. Another concept, using influencers as part of an unofficial marketing campaign, was developed, which utilized the more popular users of social media to promote products. An influencer is a user who has a large following of loyal users and potential customers selected by an SME to promote their product and/or branding using their social media account. This one-to-many link style of promotion and marketing has the aim of creating a personal link between the influencer and the consumer. This in turn creates trust and loyalty between users. Participation is the new marketing, where the more the SME, the influencer and consumer participate by sharing posts, creating hashtags, and increasing their list of followers, the stronger and the larger the brand or product becomes.
For an SME to engage in social media, it is recommended this is done so using a planned approach. This is recommended as social media has changed the way businesses interact with consumers. Whilst an SME may find overnight success with a product or advertising campaign, an SME needs to also plan for negative outcomes. For an example, how to deal with negative feedback from consumers. A communication plan captures how an SME uses social media, as it will contain strategies to handle a series of events. Effectively developing a communications plan ensures that the use of social media is controlled. Use of an expert in social media ensures that an SME is keeping up with trends. To example this, the internet is said to have transitioned to version 2.0 around 2004. This milestone saw a change in the web from being a static platform to being more interactive. In the future, devices such as Google Glasses and virtual reality are set to further enhance consumers' interaction with SMEs. Overall, SMEs need to ensure they are developing likability in the social media space. To succeed, an SME needs to generate interest and then be able to disseminate information in order for their products or services to be considered by consumers. Newspapers and magazines have been in circulation for over 200 years, and today with the presence of social media are still considered effective for advertising. Newspaper sales for the major media outlets in the last 10 years in Australia have declined by 10% in sales. However, subscription in digital media has increased, with Roy Morgan reporting that 76.9% of the population aged above 14 will access a newspaper article online within a 7-day period. For magazines, this is 74.2%. Whilst these mediums have generally been in decline with sales, they are still considered effective means of advertising as detailed or specific product information can be made available. This is attributed to a magazine or newspaper having an established readership, whereas an SME using social media needs to firstly compete for attention. Viability to utilise newspapers and magazines for advertising may be influenced by subscription costs. Consumers may avoid these costs by accessing other free sites to gain news or articles. Television has been prominent since the 1950s. In Australia, Nielsen reported in 2018 that homes contain on average 6.6 screens, with 82.6% of the population accessing free-to-air or subscription services. In comparison to print media, television offers sound and visual effects. However, television is limited to ads of 30 seconds and adhering to laws regarding content.
The same features that attract SMEs to use social media for positive outcomes, such as the ability to reach a large audience with minimal cost outlay, two-way communication with consumers, instant feedback, establish longer and stronger connections with consumer base, can also have a negative effect on business if not managed properly. Like all other aspects of business, it is important to have a clear strategy before using social media. This strategy should outline the type of social media to be used, account management plans, including what content to share and how often, how to handle positive and negative feedback, etc., and what security measures will be in place to prevent privacy violations, phishing and skimming, or data breaches. As a case study, Linkforce Engineering joined Facebook in 2014 and at the time had no strategy in place to help deal with public feedback and comments. There were many false rumors and accusations against the company posted on the profile, plus harassing and degrading personal comments towards management. As there was no strategy in place, the reaction to deal with these comments was slow, and they quickly gained momentum amongst the greater mining workforce. The reputation as an employer was damaged, and it affected the number of employees the company could attract, which over time started to affect the ability to fulfill contractual obligations with clients. This is a harsh reminder of why it pays to have a sound strategy in place to initially avoid getting into this situation if possible, or to then help deal with any arising unsavoury situations down the track.
A local distillery in Hillsville has shown how to tap into social media to build a successful brand, and it all started with the passion of their leaders. Four Pillars Gin's leaders spent years researching their product, visiting trade shows, connecting with experts and successful producers to ensure they built a company with a strong foundation. Once they understood how they would produce their product and had purchased the best equipment to support production, they engaged with an equally as passionate marketing and branding expert to create a robust social media strategy. From their inaugural distillation, funded through a successful crowdfunding campaign, they have remained true to their product and their customers, creating a consistent product and building a strong brand. Utilising the experts, Four Pillars have managed to navigate their way through the social media platform, ensuring they have the resources to maintain positive engagement online. Their customers have voted with their wallets, ensuring this small company's success in a very competitive market. This engagement has also had a positive effect on the leaders who have continued to innovate, experiment and create new product offerings while staying true to the original version. Their passion and innovation has attracted other fine food purveyors, and the company has embraced their expertise and taken Four Pillars in a direction that has not been seen before. In conclusion, with the explosion of social media being widely used as a way to communicate and share by the public, it makes sense for SMEs to engage on this platform, utilising a cost-effective marketing solution to enable them to compete with the big brands and extend their reach into the global market. Traditional means of advertising are still relevant, and for an SME, this reinforces the need to develop a communication strategy that explores the use of television, newspaper, and magazines with social media, determining if these traditional methods either complement or hinder an SME using social media. Taking heed of the warnings, engaging experts, and ensuring the company is resourced to meet the demands of a social media presence, done the right way, SMEs can have success building a community that is loyal to their brand and celebrates their success by spreading their story through their personal social media connections.